What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another WNBA video. We have ourselves a three-game slate to dive into for today, Sunday, September 7th. It is Sunday, but we do still got WNBA action to get into, so we're going to do just that here in this video, guys. We're going to break down and analyze those three games. We're going to talk about which way that I'm leaning as far as the points of the spread. We'll also go over a player prop that I found in those games that I like, and when it's all said and done, make sure you check down there into that pinned comment. Find a link down there that's going to send you over to the Guy Boston Sports website. That's where you'll find all of my final plays for these games listed for free. Now, before we dive into these games, let's go ahead and jump over there to the website. We got to take a look back at last night. Let's see what we put in and how that ended up going down. We weren't, just a huge fan of the slate yesterday, so put the one play in, the Valkyries plus 7.5, and we do end up cashing out on that. We go 1-0 on the day, 7-1 over our last 4 days. So nice little run here, man. Let's keep that positive energy rolling right here into this video and have ourselves another winning night, man. We got three games to dive into. Find some value on the board. Let's do just that, man. Smash that like button down there for me if you can. Hit subscribe if you have not already. Let's jump right into the mix, man. 3 p.m. tip-off time for our first game. Going to be the Indiana Fever taking on the Washington Mystics. We got the Fever coming in 5.5-point favorites with the total sitting at 160.5. Washington has lost 8 in a row now coming into this one, but they do come off of 2 straight covers. They'll be home here for the second straight. No travel involved with a one-day rest advantage over the Fever. Now, Indiana is coming in off of a 20-point win over the Sky. They've covered in 4 of their last 5. They've gone 22-20 on the year and sit at 7th in the standings currently, a half game up on the Storm, 2.5 games up on the Sparks. They haven't clinched just yet, but with one more win or one more Sparks loss, they're in. Now, I don't expect them to rely solely on LA dropping another game, right? So I would expect the Fever to come to play here. With that said, they have struggled with this Mystics team this season, man. They've lost 2 of the 3 head-to-heads so far, including their last match in mid-August. Now, Washington has won the battle on the glass in all 3 prior meetings this year. They shot the ball better from deep in their 2 wins in Indiana, and then in that one loss, they went 1 for 10 from downtown for just 10% shooting. And I think that's the key here, man. I feel like if the Mystics have a slight advantage in the paint, um, and let's be clear, Aaliyah Boston will be the best player on the court in this one. But I like that combo of Shakira Austin and Kiki a little better than Boston and Natasha Howard personally, and I think it's evident in the numbers on the glass. Now, if they can continue to have the upper hand in the paint, and Sony and some of these other ladies can get it going from deep, it'll be a tough ask for the Fever here to take this one by at least, 6 points on the road at that. Now, the Mystics played the Sparks tough in LA, man. A team on the ropes, desperately fighting to make the playoffs. And they turned around and kept things close with one of the hottest teams in the league in Phoenix. Indiana, they haven't really shown me enough consistency for me to confidently back them in this spot. So I'm going to lean with Washington and the points in this game. And for the total, the Mystics and Fever have both hit 2 3-unders over their last 4. But the Mystics are third from last over their last 5 games for defensive rating. And while the Fever have picked it up to some degree on that end over their last few games, we've still seen them allow up and over 80 points in 6 of their last 10, giving up 90 plus in 3 of those as well. Indiana is playing at the 4th fastest pace in the last 5. Washington is at the 5th. I'm going to lean with the over in this game here. Our second game, looking at the Wings and the Sparks, going to be a 6 p.m. tip-off time for this one. Sparks opened up 10-point favorites. That's down to 8.5. Total sitting at 178.5. Now, this is going to be the 4th and final game of this road trip for Dallas, but they do have a one-day rest advantage here, and with short travel involved, they're staying in state, having just played the Valkyries their last time out. Now, the Wings have lost 9 in a row, however, and although they did cover their last time out, they failed to do so in 5 attempts prior to that. The Wings are just 9-33 on the year. That's last in the W. On the road, they've gone just 4-17 straight up, 10-11 against the spread. The Sparks do come into this one off back-to-back losses to the Dream, and will be back home here coming in off of a 3-game road trip. LA has only covered once over their last 10 games. They've had their struggles at home over the year, man. 8-12 straight up, 5-15 to the number. With that said, the Sparks have taken each of the first 3 meetings between these two so far, winning by 14 in the first meeting, but that was back in early June. Now, these last 2 meetings, though, narrow 1-point wins in which they allowed the Wings to shoot just under 50% from the field, 45% from deep over those 2 games, 58% from deep in one of those games. Now, the Sparks aren't eliminated from playoff contention yet. But their hopes, man, they're getting pretty slim, right? They sit 2 games back from Seattle with just 3 games left to play, but they do own the tiebreaker over the Storm. So win out and then hope Seattle loses their final game this coming Tuesday to Golden State. That's their way in, man. Not ideal, but not impossible. I expect to see the Sparks come to play here, but here's the thing, man. I expected that in their last game against the Dream with their backs against the wall, fighting to get into the playoffs heading into that game. So they'll show up on one end, right? But they are still on the bus when it comes to defense. It's like they just don't show up at all on the defensive end. The energy just isn't consistently there. The Wings were down Beckers when they lost to LA by double digits with her on the floor, man. They covered in the last two, losing each of those by one, like we discussed already. And the Sparks have really struggled to contain her specifically. 29 and 44 points in each of the last two games, respectively, against LA. Now, I'm not sure I'm crazy enough to put my money on the Wings right now, but I can't back the Sparks, to take this game by what, 9 points, with as leaky as that defense has been and what we've seen head to head so far between these two as well this year. So it's going to be a Dallas lean on the side for me. Now, the total is sitting pretty high, man, and they did hit the under in their last head to head, but the Sparks have hit to the over in two of their last three, while the Wings have in four of their last five. The Wings sit at second over their last five for pace. The Sparks come in at first. Each team has had some struggles offensively as of late for sure, but the thing here is no defense is going to be played though here, right? The Sparks sit at fourth from last on the year for defensive rating. The Wings are coming in at dead last, so I'll look at it over here in this game. And for our third and final game, 9 p.m. tip-off time, going to be the Chicago Sky taking on the Las Vegas Aces. Aces are 17.5 point favorites in this one. That total was at 160.5, now sitting at 162.5. I'll be real with you. I absolutely hate this game right here, man. I can't stand trying to call the sides on these Aces games to begin with, but now you want me to lay 17.5 points? Oh, man. Look, I know the Sky have been a mess this year. I know they've lost 18 times over their last 21 games. Angel Reese is serving a first half suspension here, which how does that work? You know what I mean? They're going to bring her in for the second half of a game and disrupt rotations and whatever or kind of like rhythm they've established in the first half, if they do at all. I don't know, man. It's all strange to me. Like, suspend her for the game or just not at all. You know what I mean? And you also have the Aces coming in on a 13-game winning streak with Asia Wilson playing completely out of her mind, man, and making me sweat my FIFA MVP futures bet a little bit more right now, right? But 17.5 is still just so much, right? The Aces did take the first match this year between these two, but they failed to cover as a 10.5 point favorite in that one, with the Sky keeping things close. They're losing by just five. And this just went down, in late August, man, in the midst of the Aces' current winning streak. The Aces have been made double-digit favorites 9 times this year and have gone 5-4 to the number in those games, while the Sky have gone 8-12 against the spread as a double-digit dog. Vegas does still have the two seed to play for, though. They are a half game back, second place Atlanta, having played a game less so far than Atlanta and tied with Phoenix for third. But here's the thing, they own the tiebreaker over both. So just keep winning, right? That's all they got to do. And I think they will, man. And honestly, I don't think I get there to the window on this one because why would I, of all people, bet on the side in an Aces game? If you know, you know, right? But yeah, I'd be leaning their way here, laying all those points, man. They want that two seed, right? Home court advantage for not only the first round in the postseason, but the second round as well. And honestly, I feel like they blow them out by 20 plus in this one. It's just still a lot of points to lay, and I'm not sure that I could get there. That's where I'm leaning. And then as far as the total is concerned, four of the Aces' last six have hit to the under. With Angel out in the first half for this one, I'd expect that offense to be super stagnant yet again, man. They struggled a lot without her on the court on that end tremendously, averaging less than 65 points per game in the 10 games she's missed, failing to hit 60 in three of those, and failing to hit even 50 in another one of those. Chicago has gone under in four of their last five. These two went under earlier this year, and three in a row dating back to last season. Vegas is bringing in the second-rated defense over their last five games and are middle of the pack in terms of pace. Six of the W, while the Sky come in at just eighth. I'll lean under for this one, but may look to isolate that to just the Chicago side, man, and look at their team total under instead. The Aces could find a ton of success offensively against these Sky and ruin an under with a total sitting at just 160.5, but I think Chicago really struggles to score the ball here, so it'd be a lean towards the under, lean towards the Sky, team total under as well. We'll jump over here to Outlier. Let's check out this player prop I'm looking at. Chelsea Gray, points and assists over 16.5. We can get that right now, minus 132 over there at FanDuel. Now, on the year, you can see she doesn't have a huge hit rate to this one, right? 19 out of 41 games, only 46%. But let's look at her a little more recently. Let's check her out in the last five. She's hit this at 3 games in a row now, averaging 18.4 points and assists. So almost two above where we need her to be. And then look at this insight. We can see breaking it down into the last 9 games. She's exceeded this mark in seven of her last nine, averaging 19.8 points and assists. That's a 78% hit rate. So we love to see that. And then head to head, she's had some success against the Sky as well. In the last 3 games specifically, she's gone up and over that mark, including the game earlier this year where she went for 14 points and 7 assists. You can see, man, the Sky's defense is just dreadful, right? Ranking 10th overall for points allowed and assists allowed. And then against the guard position specifically, they are second from last for points allowed, sitting at ninth for assists allowed. So I like this look here for Chelsea Gray, her points and assists over 16.5. Like I said over there, minus 132 at FanDuel.